that much pressure, okay? You're going to initially be afraid that you're going to drop it, you know, and that if you do this, it's going to go falling down. Instead, you're going to really lean hard on it like this, and you're going to grip it. You don't want to do that. You want it to be loose. And you can hold your hand like here to just kind of figure out exactly what the amount of pressure is. Okay, let's try it again. And of course, this is going to be heavier, heavier than what you would normally be using because it's full-size violin. You would be using like a 1/8 size probably.
Laura, I think that curved part goes over your shoulder on the bottom.
Well, that is it. Well, that's a shoulder rest, and it's all too big for you, but it's all right. So try to work on that amount of how much pressure you have to put there to kind of keep it. And a lot of people, you'll see them holding it up here like this. I'm playing like this, but that means you have to bring your bow arm really high, and that's not good. I think you don't need to. I think the proper angle is actually like this to me. And sometimes I'm even playing it lower. I'm not a concert. I'm not a professional, and you can see I made mistakes. But I'm getting better. But I keep it low, and because I think being comfortable is the right way to play violin. So now when you hold the bow, it's going to be like, here, hold your right hand out like this. All right? Just have a nice natural, as though you're releasing all the muscles.
It's tired, but she also, like if it's winter, she goes to places that are cold.
That reminds me.
Except I want these fingers here, I want them to be on the top. I have a pencil. I do have a pencil. Okay, yep. There we go.
Definitely not nearby. They're hiking.
Here, let's put this down for just a moment because you don't need to worry about two things at once.
How far away?
That's actually not too bad. What you're going to want to do is you want to have your fingers more on top. Yeah, there you go. And now the weight, so what you have, and you don't want them to be rigid, right? You want them to be nice and loose and flexible.
3 hours
and maybe even, right now you have it kind of directly like at right angle. You'll actually be leaning it a little bit like this. There you go. Beautiful. Okay. Now that we've got your bow hold, right there, let's try that again. Okay. And also try not to lock your thumb is doing this, locking it. You want to try to keep it more not locked if possible, but it'll take time. All right. You generally want this parallel. So what we're going to do is, there you go. So now you're putting a little bit of weight downwards, but not that much on the bow. So sometimes you'll find yourself turning it in and adding just a little pressure like this. But you don't have to do that much. Don't worry about that too much. Go ahead and drag the bow across a little bit. Now you see how it kind of went like this and then started doing this? Part of the challenge is keeping it perpendicular the whole time. There you go. Let's do a long bow where we're going to start here. And I want you to drag it across all the way. Good. This, by the way, is the tip of your bow. This is the frog. I don't know why they call it tip and frog. It's supposed to tip and end or something, but that's what they call it. All right, we're going to try to add a little bit more pressure this time. Try it again. Very good. See? Not a bad sound there already. In fact, natural. Very natural.
You should have seen the sound I made the first time I tried. Sounded like.
Right, see if you can reproduce that. So now what's happening is you're getting a little weak as you get to this end. The reason is, think of this as a little fulcrum. When you're doing this, you want to be able to put this kind of pressure to make it go downwards. And if you're right on top like this, you won't be able to do that. So you want the first finger a little bit farther away from that thumb. There you go. Now try. Now what I try to do with my daughter is I tell her short, short, long. I think you could be more advanced than that. She's a 3-year-old. But what we do is we go short bow stroke, and then I go long. You know, I try to use long meaning from all the way down here, about here, to the tip. And it's just good practice. Now this, again, is really a big bow for you. You'd be using one probably about this long if you had one your size. But see how, draw it long. See. Now, generally, you'll use one string at a time, but sometimes you will use two. It's called a double stop. It's supposed to, well, it's a chord, really, I guess. Though it's only 2 tones instead of 3. But that's what that is. Let's see here. Okay, so let's talk about, just briefly, your left hand. This is going to be very hard for you. I almost don't want to go into it because it may be a little much. You would be using an instrument that's probably about this long. So it'd be easier for you to reach under without hurting yourself. But
Made a flash on
I'll just to give you an idea, we'll just work about this part here. You don't want to grip and have an iron grip. Your thumb is going to be.
Oops.
Let's see. Okay. All right. Now I have this again. I know I'm taking it and giving it back, taking it away. So basically, what you're going to do is your thumb is going to be about here, and you see where these creases are. Generally, you're going to have about that crease right there, right at the joint, is kind of be where you're going to have that finger there, right? And your thumb is just kind of doing a very loose support. It's very important that it's loose for many reasons. Some of it is shifting when you play up here. Another part of it is you don't want to hurt yourself, because if you play, real tense, anytime you're tense, it's bad, So if you find that you're playing and you're hurting, then you should stop, figure out why you're hurting, all right? If you can, if your finger's hurting, you're like, why is my finger hurting? Because you're probably doing something wrong, and at that point, you're getting muscle memory into the wrong habits anyway. So let's see if we can get you in that position there. I know you can't really reach that well, so if we were at my house, I've got a mini one I would let you use, but I don't have it. So okay, so what you're going to do, now we're going to see if we can get this here. If it starts to hurt you, let me know. I don't want to hurt you. I just want to try to show you what the correct position is. All right. So a little bit higher on the fingers. You want to be higher as opposed to like this, okay? Because if you hit these, if you're covering these strings, you might accidentally be covering the other string, and we don't. Then you'd hit the wrong note. You could hit another string if you're not intending on it. So you want it high, and I know this is tough. Yeah, it's pretty hard. I don't want to hurt you out of this. But that's okay. I think we've. So anyway, feel free to draw as much as you want draw the bow over the string. Have a little fun with that. Yeah, see? So if you had intended to do two strings at once, but you had accidentally put a part of your finger on the other string. So do you play other musical instruments?
No.
She does.
Okay.
She does ballet.
Recorder.
Oh, well, the school teaches recorder.
Okay. Well, if I was an instructor for you, what I would do is I'd put tape to show you where on the violin you'd put your fingers. Down there, I'll take this. So when you do the open string, the tone, right? Now, of course, it's a bowed instrument. It's not fretted, so I could play anything. But the tone is supposed to be. So that's the shape of the pattern of the notes. So
You're looking at that. So is it the bow you want her eyes on, or your fingers?
What?
You want her eyes on the bow or the fingers?
The fingers. I would just, and this is something you won't remember right now. But I'm just saying it anyway. So it's just
Right here on this
depends
side.
on the spacing. So anyway, many instruments you can teach yourself. Violin is very difficult to teach yourself. And I'm saying that more for your mother in case that it was a direction that you wanted to go in.
Actually, one of the Brownie leaders is also a violin teacher.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, because there's just so many little things, and you kind of, if you pick up bad habits, they'll stay with you for years. Because this instrument is all about muscle memory.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, good job.
Woohoo! Thanks.
Woo.
No problem.